Hello, and good evening to all who have been taking part in this 21-day course, and also to those who may be joining for the first time, even in this last week. Welcome. My name is Nicholas, and I live in the southeast of England. I have been practicing Sahaja Yoga since the 1980s, a time when Shri Mataji, the founder of Sahaja Yoga, was traveling the globe, giving self-realization in person to as many as possible. So today is day 17 of the course. In the previous sessions, you have been presented with a fair amount of information to absorb. This week, you should have more time to go higher and deeper. If you have just joined or missed some evenings, you can easily view all the previous recorded sessions on YouTube by following the link also shown later. Of course, joining us every evening helps a great deal to allow your being to absorb the subtle energy that flows during these collective meditations, even if it is transmitted online via the ether. This energy amazingly connects us all. And to help that, let's try and keep our attention all evening at the top of your head. So let me just recap for a moment. Yesterday, we looked at the sixth chakra in the center of the forehead, called Agnya, with its liberating quality of forgiveness of oneself and others. So today, we have come up to the glory of the seventh center called the Sahasrara chakra, located at the very top of our head. But the main quality we'll look at today is of integration. Here, our Kundalini completes her journey up from the base of the spine against gravity and gives us our yoga, our connection with the whole. Now, interestingly, medical science calls the area at the top of our skull the fontanelle, meaning little fountain. Will we know we have found and felt exactly what that fountain consists of? This evening, we'll be having a presentation with Brian about the Sahasrara, followed by a guided meditation given by Sarah, which will take us to some music with Tim to help open our chakras in a most enjoyable way. Then, as before, there is a short but illuminating talk by Shri Mataji. So just before bringing on our presenters, I'd like to remind everyone again that Sahaja Yoga meetings are always free. How and why is that? Shri Mataji said, how can you charge for something that exists already within you? Now, let's meet the team for tonight, please. So, do you want to introduce yourselves, please? Tell us something about yourselves.
Okay, well, I'll start. My name's Brian. I've been meditating for a long time, since the 1980s, and I'm really looking forward to telling you about the Sahasrara chakra today, which is really kind of the most important chakra there is in our body. So that'll be in a minute.
Okay, so Sarah, would you like to say something?
Yes, it's very nice to be here today. I'm really honoured actually to be leading you all in a meditation in the Sahasrara chakra later on this evening.
Okay.
Yes, I'm Sarah and I live in Sheffield in the UK. And I've been practicing this meditation since the 80s as well. Yeah.
Okay, that leaves Mr. Tim.
Hi, my name's Tim. I'm an actor and a singer, and been practicing meditation, Sahaja Yoga meditation, about 35 years, so about the same as the other two. And tonight I'm going to be singing a piece in Sanskrit called the Kunjika Stotram. That's a bit later.
Okay, lovely. Good. Thank you very much. So now I will hand over to Brian for his presentation.
Okay. We could... That's lovely. I'm still seeing Nick on the screen. I presume I'm visible. I'll start. So you can see from this slide that the Sahasrara chakra is number 7 on this slide, and that's right at the top of the head. And also you can feel it on the palm of your hand. That's correct. Now the thing is, we have this word integration. The Sahasrara chakra actually integrates the qualities of all the other chakras. And it's a bit like, those with the scientific training will know that if you take all the colours of the rainbow and you combine them together, they form the colour white. So you could say that white contains all those colours, the colours of the rainbow. And it's the same really with the Sahasrara chakra. The Sahasrara contains the qualities of all the chakras in the body. But it's a multi-dimensional thing. It's not something that we can normally understand or be aware of, because it's beyond our normal human three-dimensional understanding. But when we get self-realization, that changes, because we can start to feel the presence of the Sahasrara and of the Kundalini in the Sahasrara. And that leads to these changes that happen inside us. We start to feel the effect of the chakras on the fingers and different parts of the body. We feel thoughtless awareness, we become thoughtless. And we have this lovely silent meditation. And this is all when we get realization, when the Kundalini rises into the Sahasrara chakra. So as I said, the first thing we really feel there is the thoughtless awareness. This is the state of meditation that we've been experiencing during this week. And I think most people by now have probably experienced that to some extent. It's not always easy to start with these things because, even though we now have this new ability within us, it takes some time to settle down. So some people will have had more success than others, but stick with it and you'll find that thoughtlessness becomes part of you. So you can do everything in your life without having to be thinking all the time. But the thing about the Sahasrara chakra is that once your thoughtless awareness is established, it's called Nirvichara Samadhi, thoughtless awareness. Once that's established, you gradually move into a situation where you become doubtless. In other words, instead of just being in a situation where you're not thinking, that becomes part of you, part and parcel of the way you are. And you don't have doubts anymore. This just is what you are. And that's a lovely state. It's called Nirvikalpa Samadhi, traditionally. And that is when you won't come down. That's when you find that you don't have to keep thinking about it. You'll find that you just are in that state all the time. So could we go back one slide just for a moment? That's lovely, thank you. So you can see there, it shows on the top of the head, which is what we saw before. It's actually in the limbic area of the brain. It's a very ancient part of the brain. And it's very interesting because the traditional representation of the Kundalini awakening, self-realization, shows 1,000-petaled lotus above the head. Now it's interesting because fairly recently in science they've discovered that the brain itself has, near as damn it, 1,000 folds in it. What are folds? But they're kind of petals in the brain. And so you can see that the 1,000-petal lotus is very much connected with the structure of the brain. And there's various mentions of this through in various different religions in history. This whole process where even in the Bible it talks about the Holy Spirit appearing above the head as tongues of flame. And that's exactly how the Kundalini appears in this 1,000-petaled lotus. So it's a very interesting thing. I'm not saying that, by beginning meditation, you will see that. In fact, it's a little bit, when you start seeing visual effects and things, it's a little bit unbalanced to see that. But still some people do, and it's quite interesting to see these effects. You can also see in this slide that the Sahasrara chakra is also present on the sole of the foot. So it's on the palm of the hand and the sole of the foot. These are connections through the body. And you may well at times feel different things in those places. If the Sahasrara chakra is nice and clear, you'll feel coolness. And if there's a problem, stopping the Kundalini from reaching the Sahasrara properly, then you'll feel tingling or even heat in those places sometimes. So could we have the next slide, please? That's lovely. So the qualities of the Sahasrara, as I said, with thoughtless awareness. And that leads to this lovely, silent, peaceful state. And this is actually a state of collective consciousness. Now, the thing is that many of you will have felt tingling in the fingers as you've been meditating and realized that somehow this is connected with the chakras in the body, and that's very good. What you may not have realized is that if you put your attention on another person, you can actually feel the chakras of that person in your fingertips. And it's very interesting. And when we meet face to face, in normal life, not online, we work on each other very often. And you can work directly on a person and feel the state of their chakras. And so you therefore know where to work on them, how to help them. So this is a collective consciousness. We are all one, and we are all connected together. And this is this collective state that we're suddenly becoming aware of now through the self-realization and the awakening of the Sahasrara chakra. And behind all this is joy. Before the material world was created, the material universe, I should say, all there was a vast ocean of joy, and that's still there. But we're involved in this material state, and we're sort of less aware of that. But gradually, as we develop in our self-realization, we begin to feel that state of joy more and more in the heart, and you can feel it spreading from the Sahasrara chakra right through all the chakras, and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And so this is all connected with us getting our self-realization. And, you've experienced that now, that the more you continue with it and the more you work with it, you'll find that you experience these feelings more and more. So another thing is that the goal of all the meditation practices, all the yogas in the past, was to achieve the awakening of the Sahasrara chakra. And it was difficult for people to get to that point, because they had to meditate for years on end. They sat in caves, and they may have had gurus who were telling them what to do, and it was really hard work. But the thing is now that the human race is ready for all this. And so it's so easy to get our self-realization now. I'm assuming that everybody here has experienced their self-realization. If there's anyone that hasn't, there'll be an opportunity to go through a very simple exercise at the end of the program in one of the breakout rooms, if you want to, and go through that properly. But now it's so easy, and this is because of the awakening of the Sahasrara chakra. Could we have the next slide? So what causes problems? There's really, when you get down to it, there's just one thing: doubt. Doubting one's own power to become the spirit. Doubting that you can ascend into the Sahasrara chakra. And, our lives, everything in our lives can sort of get in the way of our smooth transition into being in the Sahasrara chakra. So if we can just have the next slide, please. Lovely. How do we help that? Well, we can help the Sahasrara chakra by meditating. I mean, Shri Mataji used to say, meditate, meditate, meditate. And really, she wasn't saying you should meditate all day long and for hours on end. That's not the point. The point was that you should meditate every day, regularly. First thing in the morning, last thing at night is best. And just keep up that process, get into that habit and keep doing it. We're hoping that through this 21-day course, you're beginning to realize that it's worth doing. So keep it up is the point. Now, when you bear in mind that the Kundalini has taken her place in the Sahasrara chakra, the Kundalini is our mother, pure and simple. So you can say, as a kind of affirmation, or even a mantra you could call it, Mother, please establish my self-realization. So if you're finding it difficult to meditate, or if you're feeling tingling on the palms of the hands or the soles of the feet, just say that. And put your attention above your head, up here. Mother, please establish my self-realization. And then we've got common sense thing, protect the Sahasrara from heat or cold. Obviously, you know, you're actually protecting part of the brain. It makes sense to be careful with it. It is a good thing actually to massage the scalp regularly with oil. You can use hair oil, almond oil, these sort of things. But massage the scalp. It's long been known that it's very helpful for the Sahasrara chakra and the head in general. And you'll find if you do it, that it really does help the vibrations a lot. So it's well worth doing. Avoid others touching it. It's a little detail. I wouldn't be too obsessive about this, but sometimes, you know, we haven't really talked about negativity much in this, but it is possible for these negative energies to transfer from one person to another. Probably not from your loved ones or anything like that, but, you know, it's just something to keep in your attention. Some people are a little bit negative and you don't really want them touching your Sahasrara chakra because it's very sensitive. And then finally, as part of meditating really, keep your attention above your head as much as you can. Keep your attention in Sahasrara chakra. That's very, very important. I mean, you can even try that now if you want to. Just allow the focus of your attention to stay up there above your head. If you're listening to anything or if you're taking in information, just imagine, just feel that it's coming through this point here at the top of the head, not through the ears. I mean, it kind of is coming through the ears, but the vibrations are coming through the head. So just try and keep in that state, even when you're not physically meditating, when you're just walking around or doing your daily work or whatever, just try and keep in that state where your attention is above the head. And then you're in Sahasrara, you're actually in meditation by doing that. And you'll find that things don't affect you in life, that you can feel peaceful and you can be detached from everything that's happening around you. You can just observe what's happening without being involved in it. And it gives you a real sense of focus and it keeps you in this lovely thoughtless state. So with that, I'll ask Sarah to take over, and she's going to take us through a meditation which will be based on the Sahasrara chakra. So over to you, Sarah.
Thank you very much, Brian. Thank you. And we can just continue with that now. Continue with that, having our attention just above the head. And today we could try, if we just take your little finger, because the little finger corresponds to the heart, and the heart and this chakra are very, very, very connected. The heart is very connected to this fontanelle just here. So we're just going to tap it very gently. And we're going to have our attention up there as we raise the Kundalini. And the way we raise the Kundalini, if you've not seen this before, we put the left hand in front of us, going up, and the right hand is going to go around the left hand as the left hand goes up. So we take the Kundalini, raise the Kundalini, and look up and tie a knot with our hands, and then again. And some of you may be feeling now the effect. Maybe you feel the Kundalini rising. But don't worry if you don't, because this is having an effect whether you feel it or not. Gradually you will feel it more. So we're going to tie 3 knots at the 3rd time. And now we're going to put the protection over our aura. So we have the left hand open like this on the lap, and the right hand is going over and all the way down to the bottom of the torso, and then round again and all the way. So we do that 7 times. 2, 3, and as you start to feel the vibrations more, you'll feel that you collect the vibrations from the Sahasrara chakra as you're going over. 5, 6, 7. So let's just close our eyes. And again, we can just tap that part. I'm going to just have a very subtle tapping of the part that was soft when we were babies. Just tap it very gently with the with the small finger, and let our attention very gently rest there. Now there was just a few things I want to say. And I just wanted us to kind of come into this meditative state while I say it, and then I'll start taking us into the meditation. I just want to say that, as Ryan said, we are now in a state of collective consciousness. So that means we don't need to compare ourselves. We don't need to compare ourselves to other people. And so when we say we've been meditating for 20, 30, 40 years, we're just the same as you. When we come into meditation, we're all one. We're all one collective. And this ascent, the spiritual ascent, is a collective ascent. Let's just feel the truth of that we are all one. And when we say we've been meditating for 30, 40 years, technically what it is we've been sitting for meditation. It's not a verb. It's not something we do. We sit and the Kundalini takes us into meditation. And when we meditate together, we are all one. Let's put the right hand on the heart. This is where we feel our heart's desire. And our heart's desire is to be here in meditation together. And that's why we're here. Let's ask this Mother Kundalini energy. Mother, please take us deep into our sincerity, into our sincere desire to be one in the spirit. Please open my heart and fill my heart with pure love. Please cleanse my heart. Make me sincere. And let's take the hand across the forehead. And let's say, Mother, I forgive. I let go of everything. I forgive. With all my heart, I forgive. I let go so that I can be in this present moment, so that I can go into meditation in my Sahasrara. Just rub the forehead a little bit. Relax the forehead. Now we can take the center of the palm and press it down on that soft spot. And here we're going to circle the scalp 7 times, and we're going to ask, Mother, please take me deep into silence of meditation. Mother, please take me deep into meditation in the Sahasrara. Mother, please take us deep into our oneness in the spirit. And when we take the hand down, we let our attention just gently rest in that place we've been massaging. And we allow ourselves to enjoy the present moment. If any thoughts come, we may just watch them from that point above the head. Put the hand on the heart again, and we can ask, Mother, please let me feel the bliss of the Spirit, the joy. What we ask for doesn't always come instantly. Sometimes it comes much later. But we ask sincerely, Mother, please let me feel the bliss, the joy of the Spirit. Now, in this meditative state, we can listen to Tim's rendition now for the Sahasrara chakra. Stay in meditation now.
आता सिद्धकुंज का स्तोत्रम शिवाच शृणु देवि प्रवक्ष्यामि कुंज का स्तोत्रम उत्तमम् मंत्र प्रभावेन छंदि जपः शुभो भवेत् न कवचं न रङ्गलास्तोत्रम् कीलकं न रहस्यकम् न सूक्तं न ध्यानं च न यस्योन्ना च वर्चनम् कुञ्जकपातमात्रेण दुर्गपातफलं लभेत् आतिङो यत्तरं देवी देवनम् अपि दुर्लभं गोपनीयं प्रयत्नेन स्वयोनिरिव पार्वती मारणं मोहनं वश्यं स्तम्भनोत्थादनादिकम् पातं मात्रेण संसीर्ये कुञ्जिका स्तोत्रमुत्तमम् आत्ममन्त्रः ॐ ऐं ह्रीं क्लीं चामुण्डये विचे ॐ ग्लौं हुं क्लीं जुं सा ज्वल्य ज्वल्य ज्वल ज्वल प्रज्वल प्रज्वल ऐं ह्रीं क्लीं चामुण्डये विचे ज्वल हं सं लं क्षं पत् स्वाहा इति मन्त्रः नमस्ते रुद्ररूपिण्यै नमस्ते मधुमर्दिनी नमः केतवहारिण्ये नमस्ते महिषार्दिनी नमस्ते शुम्भहन्त्राये च निशुम्भासुरगातिनि जाग्रतं हि महादेवी जपं सिद्धं कुरुष्व मे ऐङ्कारी सृष्टिरूपाये ह्रीङ्कारी प्रतिपालिका क्लीङ्कारी कामरूपिण्ये बीजरूपे नमोस्तुते चामुण्डा चन्दघाती च एकारी वरदायिनी विचे च भयदा नित्यं नमस्ते मन्त्ररूपिणी दं दिं दुं दुर्जये पत्नी वं Vim Vum Vagadishvari Kram Krim Krum Kalika Devi Sham Shim Shum Meshabam Kuru Hum 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 Kara Rupinye Jam 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 Bandarini Bram Brim Brum Bhervi Badre Bhavanyete Namo Namah Kam Cham Tam Pam Yam Sham Vim Dum Aim Vim Ham Ksham Dijagram Trotya Diptam Kuru Kuru Swaha Pam Pim Pum Parvati Purna Gham Ghim Ghum Kechari Tata Sam Sim Sum Saptashati Devya Mantra Siddhim Kurushvame Idam tu kunjika stotram mantra jangarti hetave abhakti nevadatavyam gopitam raksha parvati yastu kunjikaya devi hinam saptashatim patet natasya jayatir siddhir aramyerodhanam yata. Iti Shri Rudrayamali Gauri Tantre Shiv Parvati Sumvade Kunjaka Stotram Sampurnam Om Tat Sat Sakshat Shri Adishakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo 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 Namah. And keeping our attention at the top of the head. So we listen through the top of our head. We listen through our Sahasrara. Let's listen to Shri Mataji's talk.
Without meditation, you don't understand what is best for you. So today is a day when you have to promise me that you will meditate every night, every evening, maybe in the morning also. Whenever it is possible, if you can go into meditative mood, you are in contact with this divine power. Then whatever is good for you, whatever good for your society, for your country, all is done by this divine power. You don't have to overpower the divine power. You don't have to order, you don't have to ask. Just if you meditate, you are one with this all-pervading power, which is another great blessings to us. Unless and until your Sahasrara is open, all the blessings of the divine power cannot come to you. Cannot. Maybe you might get some money, you might get some jobs, you might get this and that. But your own development is only possible when you meditate and your Sahasrara is completely open and open to truth. Now the truth is that this divine power is compassion, is love. This is the truth. They say God is love, God is truth. So the equation has to be made that truth is love and love is truth. But it's not a truth that as you have for your own children, you have for your family. Attached love is not truth. If you are attached to somebody, then you never see the bad points of that person. If you are angry with somebody, then you can never see the good points of that person. But it's a complete detached love. And that love is extremely powerful. Because whenever you project that love to anyone, you will be surprised. The problems of that person will be solved. His personality will improve. Everything will work out in a very big way and his life will be changed. But if you are attached to anything whatsoever, that attachment itself causes problems and doesn't allow Sahaj to grow. This attachment could be any kind. For example, you can be attached to your country, attached to your society, attached to your family. It can be of any kind. But when Sahasrara is open, you learn one thing is detachment. It just happens that you get detached. Though, you are not running away. As it is in Sahaja Yoga, we don't believe in people who run away from society and go to Himalayas, or that I call it as escapism. That is not the point. What happens is that you are there. You see everyone, you watch everyone, you know everyone, you are close to everyone, but you are a detached person. It's a state of mind that you achieve when Sahasrara is open. Then that state you are dealing with people, you are dealing with problems, you are dealing with situations, but you are not involved in it. There's no involvement. And that involvement which you had before can never give a complete insight what is happening, what is the truth is about any situation. So this detachment helps. The greatest thing of the detachment is that you are not affected. No use saying that, oh, you are not affected, mother, so how can you feel for another person? How can you have compassion for another person? Because if you feel for another person, then only you can solve the problem. But this feeling that you have is again a kind of an attachment. It is not a real feeling because it doesn't help. The person is crying, you are also crying. The person is trouble, you are also in trouble. And this does not help that person, nor will it help you. So to have detached in no way means you do not feel the another person. You do feel. You feel the agony of that person, the trouble of that person, of the whole society sometimes, and of the whole country. But that your feeling is so detached that the all-pervading power takes over. First, we must have full faith in the capability of this all-pervading power. As soon as you are detached, You say, you do it. Finished. Once you say that you are going to do it, it's you who is going to do it. Whole thing changes completely because you transfer all your responsibilities, all your problems to this divine power, which is so powerful, which is so capable, which can work out anything. So whenever you think that this problem you are going to solve, you are the one who is going to do it, then all right, the divine power says, all right, try your luck. But if you can really put this problem to the divine power, it will work out.
Now, let's all raise our Kundalini and put on the bandhan. Many thanks to you, Brian, Sarah, and Tim, helping us to go to a deep, quiet level. Very beautiful. But we have to continue on with the evening. You've already heard about the importance of meditating regularly at home. The more you meditate, the more you feel. The more you feel, the more effective your meditation. Now, I'd just like to add that it's not always easy to find the time and the place to meditate in peace, especially if there are other occupants of your home. But we have found, even with children, for example, if you say to them, I'm going to have my quiet now for a few minutes, all right? It can be surprising how generally they will respect your request, sometimes even wanting to join you. Meditating regularly in the same area does build up positive vibrations there. So, if you have recently joined the course, it's a good idea to make a note of the links now. They will not be visible once the session ends. There are just 4 more days remaining, always starting at 7:45 p.m. UK time, so do stay with us. On the website freemeditation.com.au, scroll down and you'll find the section about resources, where you can find previous sessions, documentation, and other material. And if you're just starting Sahaja Yoga, there's a beginner's WhatsApp group, which also contains much useful information. So now another word about our mentoring program. Just to repeat that it is different to the breakout room activity. This program can take place, the breakout room activity. This program can take place outside the fixed time and day restrictions of these evening sessions, even continuing beyond the end of this course, in which you are connected to a Sahaja Yoga practitioner who then acts as your individual mentor. And if you still would like to be given a mentor, please fill out the simple form you'll find in the Zoom chat, or scan the QR code, or find it on WhatsApp and YouTube. We'll then assign you someone, and we hope it really works out well between you. So far, all our coupling has worked out very well, and everybody seems to be enjoying it. But this can take a day or two to assign the yogi to you, so please be patient. And now let's look at what tomorrow holds, which is about achieving and being in a state of mental silence, what you've heard us call thoughtless awareness. As you can see on the slide, tomorrow we'll begin using simple mantras to deepen our experience. Well, we are coming to the end of this session, And as before, you are welcome to stay on to meet us one-on-one in breakout rooms, or just access the chat for links. If this is your first time on the course, please raise your virtual hand that you'll find going down to the controls at the bottom of the Zoom page and clicking on the reactions icon just to the right of center. And you'll enter a room where you can have your self-realization. If this is not your first time, please type breakout room in the chat help pane. And here are a couple of helpful pictures, images of what to do with your mobile and your computer. So now I'll just ask tonight's team to join me in closing this session. 1, 2, there you are. Okay.
Yeah.
It's quite difficult to see you all. Tim's got center stage, which of course he deserves.
Probably because I made a noise.
You've got to unmute. Bye, everybody.
Quarters on mute, yeah.
Okay, so good night. It's been a pleasure sharing this evening with you, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Cheerio.
Good night.
Don't forget to join the breakout rooms.
Yeah.